Chapter 1.
Good morning, citizens of our lovely glass-domed city. I am Lassiter, your artificial intelligence AI community news broadcaster. It is now 6 a.m. The local Antarctic temperatures are negative 70.6 degrees Fahrenheit. But don't worry, the coastal temperatures are almost balmy, expected to reach a searing maximum of 14 degrees Fahrenheit during the summer. The terrain is almost entirely covered by an ice sheet, but beneath is a hidden landscape of mountains, valleys, and plains. Nice to know when you are freezing your butt off. The sea levels are rising exponentially. The ice caps are melting at an alarming rate and constantly shifting and giving birth to pools of hot water and steam. You can breathe this air, but it is stinky and similar to the dull mist of a fart. Other than that, dear humans, all is peachy. Breakfast is served until 8 a.m. Thank you, and enjoy your day.
We are on our own. Colonel Dr. Brad McCormick. 2046 AD. Environmental Project 1. Antarctica. Earth. Colonel McCormick, come to communications immediately, sir. Connor's command was loud and stressed as it boomed from McCormick's small personal radio. Run! Don't walk, he added. Brad McCormick, who had been working on the experimental growing lights of the agriculture dome, had been taken aback by the near-panicky voice of his second-in-command, Connor O'Hara. The urgency in his usual soft-spoken voice alarmed Brad, so he went tearing down the long corridor toward the communication dome. The energy-saving lights could barely keep up with his pace as his motion initiated the activation sensors. Finally, he came to a dead halt in front of the shiny metallic door to the command center. He waved his hand so the sensor would hurry and do its censoring. He took a deep breath, calming himself, and burst inside as soon as the door slid open. He found his friend and second-in-command in the communications room. The area was half-moon-shaped with white furniture and curved plexiglass screens for optimal viewing. The pixelation was so fine that one could see a sand flea doing the mambo on top of Tutankhamun's tomb in Egypt's Valley of the Kings. "What is going on, Connor?" Brad asked as he walked with purpose inside.
Seems we may have a wee problem on our hands. Help me make some sense of all this.
Connor motioned for Brad to sit in the chair beside him as he hammered away at his keyboard, eyes fixed on the virtual networking screens. "What seems to be the problem, besides the fact that you're sitting here looking at an empty room? Is that Houston headquarters?" Brad asked as he patted the young scientist's back, taking the seat next to him.
You'll recall that I mentioned at dinner last evening I'd been unable to contact Houston for our bi-weekly report. I put it off as resulting from some flares initially. The more I thought about the flare rationale, the more it made little sense with the new communications technology. So I attempted new contact efforts first thing this morning. At first it was the same, just a black screen and static. Then Marcia Merrick appeared on the screen. She looked like bloody fucking hell. Rambling, running her words together and screeching at other times about a pandemic. She told me to wait, saying she had to go, but would get someone to speak to me. And then she turned and ran to the door in the back of the room. That's what we're looking at now. I've been holding for about 15 minutes. I just had this feeling and thought it wise to call you immediately, Connor said.
"This is all very strange, Connor. Let's get Mika Romanov and my boys in here. I want them to feel in the loop," Brad directed Connor, referring to his son Simon and his college buddy Paul Chevalier. They selected both boys as interns at the Antarctica facility due to their high academic standing. "Good idea," Connor said, even as he picked up the pager and ordered the three men to the communications room, stat. Minutes later, Simon and Paul arrived. Both stood over 6 foot tall and were athletically built. The two had been inseparable since meeting at school. Dr. Mika Romanov, a Russian geneticist, geologist, medical doctor.